in different colors. I also want to bring a notice that this Sunday is going to be Mother's Day. And we shout out to all the mothers that are watching. This theme for the month of May is bossed and balanced women. So I have a special lady that's going to be my guest here on the podcast, whose house I'm staying in right now till my wife and I get back to Boston. It's my mother. So my mother will be our special guest on the podcast, episode 135. The original Sister Pamela, aka Patsy McGlash, and my mom and I will have a mother-son conversation here in Toronto, and we are going to learn so much about her and have a really good time. This will be your first time live with me sitting down. We're going to have an amazing conversation, with an amazing time. Mark this on your calendar. And then on Thursday, we're going to have a women's panel. We're going to have a women's panel that's going to be led and moderated by my wife, the amazing Shanika Bloomfield. And we're going to be talking about bossed and balanced women dealing with menopause. I have nothing to do with this conversation. It'll just be the women, and it'll be my guest, Dawn. It'll be our guest, Dawn Braithwaite, Tanika Gravely, Regina Nunnally, Stephanie Lyons, and of course, Olanda Kusamo. It's going to be amazing. So those of you who are older, seasoned women of God, and we're going to have real conversation about what it means to be a boss lady, a balanced woman, and also dealing with that dirty M word, menopause. So I'm leaving that alone. So you don't want to miss the next two episodes of Sunday and Thursday on the podcast. But tonight we're going to have an amazing guest. She's family, literally, she's family. And her name is Shanika Gosling. She is a portrait photographer. She's an author and the mother of 4 kids, 4 daughters, 4 beautiful girls. She's passionate about helping women see the power within themselves. Through her work in personal branding, photography, women's group experiences, and her inspiring writing, Shanika captures and celebrates the strength, resilience, and authenticity of women of all walks of life. Her mission is simple but profound: to honor who you are, celebrate who you are, and empower who you are becoming. Now, listen, Shanika just released her first book, and I have a copy of it in my hand because she's in Toronto. She's in Mississauga, to be exact. Shout out to Mississauga and the surrounding GTA areas, Brampton, Mississauga. Her book here is Just Love Her, a Proverbs 31 woman's devotional by Shanika Gosling. So this book will give you more information how to pick up and support her first literary effort. It's a beautiful book, beautiful pictures, and beautiful inspiration for those who read it. Without further ado, allow me to introduce to you, first time on the Motivation Moments podcast, episode 134, my friend, my cousin, Miss Shanika Gosling.
I love it.
Hello. Yes.
Hi.
So since we're both jam cans, that's AKA Jamaican and Canadian. I can say it like this, and everyone else catch up. Love how I'm big you up, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. How are you
I
doing?
love it.
Oh, the sweet spot says,
Yeah,
Shani.
man. That's my girl. Yes.
That's your girl?
You. Of course.
All right. Hey, girl. How are you?
Oh, my
The sweet
goodness.
spot. Good to see you. Tell other people that your girl is on live on the Motivation Moments podcast. So
Right?
Thank you so much for agreeing to be on this platform.
Of course.
And how are you?
I am good. Today was a beautiful day, and I can't complain. Look, even though it's like chilly, still chilly, but the sun was out, and I cannot complain. I had a great day and actually a great week. So,
Cool.
yeah.
All
How
right.
about you?
I had a good day, man. My wife and I saw some good friends
That's amazing.
here in the town we're staying in Woodbridge, and we went out to dinner. Shout out to Craig and Latoya Campbell, who were actually on the podcast episode. I think it was 122 or something like that.
It's the fact that you remember numbers. Like,
I'm an accountant.
I know.
I'm a CPA, man. Numbers is my listen.
Numbers is your thing. That's why. Because you always bring up these numbers, and now I'm like, how does he remember? Like, I'm good with the numbers, but the way that you are, I'm like, okay, now it makes sense.
It makes sense now. I just tell you, numbers and spreadsheets have prepared me for podcasting.
Yo.
You see it?
No, yes. Oh my God.
When I'm not doing a tax return or a spreadsheet, I'm doing this. So,
yeah, this is fun. I love that.
Like, share, and subscribe, everybody. Let's get a bunch of people in the room. And please interact. I see some of your friends in there. I really appreciate you.
Yay, I love it.
Them in. Awesome. First, I want to ask you a simple question, or maybe difficult, or maybe complicated. I don't know which way you want to take this, but I read your bio. It's impressive. You gave me a short form and a long form of your bio. Mm-hmm. But my question to you is this. Who is Shanika Gosling? Who are you? Outside of the bio.
Outside of the bio.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm see, whenever anybody asks that question, it's such a loaded question because it can go in so many different ways. But I feel like I am becoming Shanika right now. And that is the real truth. I'm still becoming her. The person that I was a few weeks ago is not who I am today. I'm learning so much. And that is literally the season I'm in right now because there's been so many transitions in life, all my children and just life in general, that who I am right now is a woman in search of who she is. And that is the honest truth.
But, and that's, I purposely asked those loaded questions because you get a whole skew of different answers. Like, I'm becoming this person. No one has ever really said to me that, like, I've arrived and I'm going to stay this way till the day I die.
Because that's not the truth. And if you stay the same, there's no growth.
And what happens when you stop growing, you start dying. So yeah, I hear you. And that's so that was thank you for the very honest and transparent answer.
Thank you.
So this month we're talking about bossed and balanced women. Mm-hmm. So we read your bio, and I've known you for a long time, and you're a photographer. Mm-hmm. You're in the arts. I like to say that you're a visual artist.
Yeah.
Yeah. What got you interested in being a visual artist / photographer? How did that passion start? Talk about it.
There's actually two stories to that. I'll start with the first one is going through family photos. My dad was the photographer of the family. So he would always be taking the photos, but there was always a parent missing. So whether it was my mom taking the photos or my dad taking the photos, there's a lot of photos of me, my dad, and my sisters, or me, my mom, and my sisters. But there's not a lot of just all of us together because somebody always had to take the photo. So that was the reason why I originally started doing family photography. And then the other reason was do you remember glamour shots? Do you remember when they used to do glamour shots?
Yeah.
When they would do all this. So I hated them personally, but my mom wanted to do it so bad. And I was like, okay, fine. And this is when I had my first daughter. So I was very young as well, right? So we go in, and I was excited a little bit, but also not, because I was a tomboy growing up. Like, I don't want to put makeup on. I don't want people touching me, nothing. I go into the place and they do my makeup. It was okay. But then these wonderful people decided to comb out all my curls. Like, I came there with curly hair, and the style, like, one day I'm going to share it on my Instagram, but the style that they did with my head, they combed out like all of these curls, and it just was like this little afro, and then they tried to pin it up. because they weren't black, so sorry, but they weren't.
Was it like a Grace Jones type
Oh
of
my
deal?
gosh, basically.
A
So,
slave to the rhythm photos. Yeah.
and I'm like 17 years old, and that's what you're doing to me. You might as well have just brushed my hair back into a ponytail, right? Yes, you got glamour shots. Laugh out loud. Yeah. So when I had these like two moments, it was just one of those things that I always had a camera in my hand, but I just would always have fun with it. But it wasn't until I started realizing that there are there are women that are not taking photos of themselves because of these reasons. You're not comfortable, or family dynamics, so much reasons. So it was kind of like a mirror of both of those put together that just put me in that spot where it's like, oh, I can do this and actually make a career out of it.
Mm.
Yeah.
So those were the inspirations for you becoming a photographer. And
Hmm.
is it something that you're still very passionate about? Are you more passionate about photography now than when you first started, or what is it? What is it like now? What drives you to keep doing photography?
Right. Truthfully, in the beginning, I didn't know, because when I wasn't making any money, I was like, what am I doing? Like, I'm not, why am I still here? Um, but I would actually say it was God's plan, because when I first started, I was doing family and newborn photography,
Mhm.
and I did great at it. Everybody knew to come to me for that. But it was actually during a little bit before COVID where I was done. I was like, I'm done with this. Like, I'm just gonna go get a full-time job, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna do it anymore. And he transitioned by just putting the right people in my life. One of the girls that's actually in the book, Kamshuka, she became my mentor. And then this other girl that I started to work with as well, they started putting me around like other women, because I would avoid women. Women to I love us, but we are also really critical of ourselves. So most of the time I would hear, edit this, edit that, edit. I'm like, no, no, no. Who
Mhm.
you are right now is beautiful. Whether you're overweight, underweight, got a mole on your face, whatever it is, who you are, that's what it is. So when I started working with these two women and then COVID hit, I couldn't go into people's homes anymore for newborn photography. It grew even stronger for me. And now, even though I was losing it around that time,
Mhm.
the transition to work with women, and literally all God, because I would avoid them like a plague, right? That's when I was like, oh, the passion it ignited and excited me again to help women get to just to see the beauty of themselves from within, because that's like my slogan, capture the beauty from within.
Mhm.
So just to kind of show them that it's not always on the outside,
Right.
it is on the inside, and it shows on the out. Just like when
Mhm.
you meet somebody and they're so beautiful, but then they start talking, you're like, oh Lord,
Oh
personality,
yeah, that
right?
isn't that the dating pool now? There's a whole bunch of people. When people no, when
Yo!
people say, and people in the chat, your friends, get that, put a one in the chat if you agree that you
Don't make
you
that
have some
t-shirt up.
people that they're beautiful. Have you ever experienced, all your friends in the chat? Please respond.
Yes, please.
You've seen people that are gorgeous. I assume that your friends here are women. They're gorgeous, gorgeous, nice on the eyes, eh? And then they talk.
And you're like, oh my gosh.
And it's like, ooh. And then you just start noticing pimples.
Yep.
You start noticing flaws that you would not have seen if they
No.
weren't so foolish. Put a
Yes.
one in the chat if you've experienced that, where
Right?
somebody is just a dud because they talked. So beauty,
That's
beauty,
the truth.
and that's one of the things with, and that leads me kind of to my next question, not just about the dating life and the dating pool is filled with pee or septic or whatever, but you talked about the capturing the beauty within.
Hmm.
So what do you look for as a photographer? How does your eye work so that people can see beauty within themselves that they can't see in themselves and capture that in your art?
Hmm. I think it's really just it's all about how I approach every client, like people that are going to work with me, and it's just like I'm going to say a scenario that just happened the other day. I also work at a car dealership. I take pictures of cars, and there was this older woman. She had like salt and pepper hair and big glasses. You know when they have those like really big glasses?
Yeah, yeah.
And then she even just what she was wearing, her whole style was just so cute, and just you can just see that she was so chill. And I stopped the vehicle and I was just like, I just love your style. And she was so taken back that she was like actually shocked. But after she came to me and said, honestly, thank you for saying that, because sometimes I like second guess or I do certain things and I just don't know if it goes together. But it was just so, it was nice to hear that. So I just had like a nice conversation with her. But we don't, like, when I look at myself, I don't see what other people see. They can say I look beautiful or I dress nice, or even if they see how I interact with my children or somebody else, we don't see that within ourselves because we are really critical of ourselves, right? So most of the time when Sweet Spot's like, me, but like, even for example, I did her photos. She didn't like certain things about it. It had nothing to do with what I captured. It's because we look and we're like, oh, it's this I don't like, it's this I don't like. But if you really just focus on the image itself and the beauty of what that person, and that's what I tell every woman, look at everything you've gone through and that you are standing here right now.
Mm,
You've come further than so much other people. It's like one of my clients who just turned, I think she turned 52. So since she turned 50, she's been doing photo shoots every year because her mom passed when she was 50, right?
right.
So she said, I'm going to celebrate every year because this is like a monument moment that and every year she works out, she's losing weight, she's getting to this, like she's getting even older. And now like everything is just, is blooming. That's what I told her. I'm like, I think you're in your blooming season right now. That's what I say to people, reasons why I even use flowers in my book,
Mm,
because it's so important for us to see where we've come, but keep growing to where we need to be, and
right.
not be so focused on, oh, I'm not the weight I want to be, or I'm not, my hair's too short, or it's, oh, like there's always gonna be something. Even when you lose weight and you're the size you want to be, there's gonna be something you find. So that's why I always say that we need to focus on who we are now and who we want to become, because how we treat other people and how they are even with me at the sessions, like I just want to like dive so deep with them that when they leave that session, they're gonna leave. I don't like I know a lot of people use the word empowered. I just want them to leave loving themselves more than they did when they got there.
That's amazing. I like that approach because a lot of people, it's hard for some people to accept that they are beautiful. I've known people that were straight up gorgeous, but they don't
Hmm.
believe it, men and women.
Yep.
And I also believe, and this may sound very cliche, Shanika, is this: I think our scars make us beautiful.
Yeah.
Some of them, like, and people that you think are flawless can have the most scars that you don't see.
Yep.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
and I think bring it to a spiritual level, God allowed certain scars to happen in your life to
Hmm.
share a testimony. Scars can show that God is a healer because you
Yeah.
have a mark or whatever it may be to
Yeah.
say that you went through something.
Yeah.
And here's the proof that I am Jehovah Jireh. Here's the proof that I am Jehovah Nisi. Then here's the proof that I am El Shaddai.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you, and thank you for doing that because a lot of women, since we're dealing with women this month, need to hear that.
They do.
Yeah,
It's something I have to remind myself all the time. It's not, and I think women also have to remember, and even men too, that it's a daily process. Loving yourself,
Mhm.
loving you,
Can,
right?
can I
Every
sh-
day.
yeah, can I share something? I used to when I was in school, I grew up here in Toronto, and I used to hate my lips.
Wow.
I got teased,
Oh,
and sometimes teased by our own people.
oh, of
What
course.
it like for the Jamaicans out there? It's like red lip Judy. So
Oh,
there's like, so that because my bottom lip's pink,
yeah,
I
yeah.
got teased a lot until I went to York University. That's where I went to school, and I got very much inundated with other Caribbean folk, and joining the Caribbean Students Association and embracing my culture and people. I got to love myself again and love my lips.
Yeah.
In fact, you know who loves my lips the most? Yeah, my wife. Praise God. Yes. And she gets the blessing of these lips. Like, share, and subscribe to the Motivation Moments podcast, where you get not tea, but natural juice for your
Yes.
soul. And we're
I love
here
it.
with Shanika Gosling for this amazing conversation. So we're talking about,
You're so
and please
hilarious.
subscribe. I'm the king. Hey,
Yes,
here's
Mr.
confirmation right
A.
here. No,
Yes.
put that back on the screen. Hold on. Empire by Design can wait. Put that. See
Oh,
that?
right. I
Read that.
love your lips,
Yes.
honey. Yes, my girl.
Mhm. And as they say in American politics, my name is Gregory Bloomfield, and I approve this message.
Yes.
Yes.
That's my business coach, Empire by Design.
Hey, Empire by Design. How are you? So, I have another thing I want to discuss with you. So, being a photographer and being great at your craft, we use this term boss, particularly with females who are entrepreneurs like yourself. And also, and clearly you are an entrepreneur. Um, but then there's also the balance part. Yeah. So, like people that are entrepreneurs, you have a passion, there's a business side to it. And there's also, balance. You have four, it just amazes me. You have four girls,
Girls.
four girls,
For emotions.
four young gal them.
Oh, yes.
How? The question is simple. How? How do, how do you, yeah, just how? Like, how do you have a business building client? My God, four, bless you. How do you balance? Because women need to hear this. Some people can't balance it with one. You have a thriving business,
Mhm.
you're an author of a book, you have family, you have your children, you have your own life. How do you balance all this? And how do you take time for self care?
Okay, so we'll start with the first one.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know if, I hated when people would say, like, you, how do you balance it all? Like, I don't think there's such a thing as balancing it all, but how I do it is my family, my support. Truthfully, I have amazing parents, amazing sisters, amazing best friends, and it doesn't matter, like, and even like my nieces, like right now, two of my younger ones are upstairs, and one of my nieces just happened to come over, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here, because I don't know how to manage this interview because a whole heap of other stuff. My parents took my other daughter to, she goes to Friday nights at church. So and it started at 8 when this started. So it's really just Yeah, it is, I guess, balancing, right? I never really looked at it, but it is that support system. Like, what did they used to say back in the day? How to raise children. What is that?
It
How is
takes a village to raise a child.
there you go, your amazing village. That's what it is. I I am thankful like every day. Like I think I almost cry all the time how blessed I am to have such a village. And I honestly prayed for that. Like my eyes are watering, but I prayed not just like I've always had my parents and my sisters, but even just the people that are outside of that core,
Mhm.
I prayed for that because there was a time that I was like, "Oh, like where's my people?" But I said, "Lord, I know you are going to put the right people around me that is going to support me. Like even my business coach or the sweet spot Stacy, like those are people that I can talk to and just be like, I need help here or I need encouragement or I need like when you build that village around you,
Mhm.
and I tell people, even if you have only one, that is still something. Keep building it, and meet other people. There's a reason why God put us here and He made that infrastructure the way He did.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important. And that's how I do it. Because if I did not have any of those people, this book wouldn't have come out. My business wouldn't be here. I'd be working some whatever job and probably be miserable
Yeah.
because I could not do any of this without all of them.
And let me say this. Let me say publicly to each one of these folks, thank you for making your dreams come true, because it
Literally.
really does, as it was said in the chat, it really does take a village to. And the one thing I love about your village, if I can piggyback on that, your village, Shanika, wants you to succeed. That's why
Exactly.
they're doing these things for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think the takeaway really for those who are listening who want to do a business is make sure you have a good village.
Hmm.
You're blessed to have your parents, your sisters, and your business coach. Shout out to your business coach. Thank you to Sweet Spa. I don't even know them, and I'm saying thank you. And because I see the fruit, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And they want you to succeed. The most important thing I can say is get yourself, and please write this down, get yourself around people
Yep.
who want you to succeed.
Yep.
You don't need to be around haters. You don't need to be about jealous folk. You don't need to be, let me go Jamaican now. You don't have to be with people with bad mind, red eye, and gravelish. No.
Yeah.
For the Americans, you don't want to be with
Right.
haters. That's really what I'm saying. But
Oh my God.
yeah, so I'm happy that you found your tribe. I'm
Thank
happy
you.
for those who. So how do you? We'll get to self care in a minute, but when being a Boston balanced woman, what's your process of cleaning your village out of negativity? Like, for example, if you got somebody who just put in doubt, who's not aligning with your vision, who's incongruent, how do you cast them aside, or how do you notice those individuals and ask God to deal with them? How do
Hmm.
you do that?
I'm more just focused on how I'm feeling. Because most of
Mm-hmm.
the time when you talk to certain people, how they respond, how they are being, it makes such a big difference. And I have no problem putting space between me and anybody that is not positive. I don't have the energy for it and I don't have the time because I already can beat up myself and be negative all on my own. So I can only have those around me that is going to be like, okay, we're going to pray about this, or okay, how are we going to switch these views around? Even if I'm like that, right? I want somebody to nip it out of the butt and get me right back on top. Like let me cry it out, let me be vexed for a moment, but that's it. But if I hear anybody being negative, I have to either find my way out, which is very easy, or I'm gonna like say, you know what, this is not the conversation for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. most of the time they'll some can keep going, because that happened to me the other day without putting anybody out there. But it happened to me the other day that somebody was just being negative about something, and
Mhm.
I actually couldn't get out of it. But all I could do was just be like, okay, Lord, like, help me to come back to that person and let them know this is what happened, this is how I felt. And I let you vent, but there was nothing I can do to even get you out of it, because you went on such a spiral, right? But when those things happen, what I would tell people is just pay attention to how you feel after. Because if you're still dragging that with you after, like when you're exhausted from a conversation,
Mhm.
conversations are supposed to
Right.
lift you, and you're supposed to get to these new levels with people. But if it's like bringing you down, pay attention to it. Pay
Yeah.
attention to those surroundings, because sometimes you don't notice it in the beginning, but once you really start to, even when you really start to pay attention and click in with God on that,
Yeah.
right? Because even today, like, I prayed about this conversation from the beginning of the week. I said, Lord, give me the energy, because most of the time by this time I'm in my couch. I'm like, no, I've had it. But you know, but it's like I said, Lord, like, let you control this conversation. You be at the helm of it, because some conversations can be draining or it can be uplifting.
Yeah.
Just seeing my village here already too, that's uplifting. That's gonna lift me up. And I only told them, some of them just found out at 8 o'clock, and some knew from earlier or yesterday. So
Yeah.
the fact that they show up, and that just shows you, like, you just gotta you have to pay attention to the people you have around you. And you can, for me, I just put a distance between those that I totally can't cut off.
Mhm.
I have to put a distance, and that's just what it is. And they know, they're okay with it.
AKA boundaries.
Boundaries, which I'm learning as I've gotten older, because we didn't have that growing up.
No, we didn't. We had, and that's what's called when you don't have boundaries. It's called trauma. It's called
No,
anxiety. It's called headaches. It's called ulcers.
we don't
So
want them. I don't want them.
yeah, especially when you're trying to build a business,
Yeah,
you need energy that's positive. Yes, you can take criticism and there's things that you can do better, but that's what your coach is for.
yeah,
And a lot of times people are negative because they see that there's something great in you and they want to kill it.
yeah.
Because if it's not happening to me, then it shouldn't happen for you. May I also add this as well into this
Mhm.
conversation is that I use this theory with or this strategy in relationships, but I'll also say this with just people as a whole, especially when you're trying to build a business. Is when you're dealing with negative situations, and you could use this also with a negative relationship or romantic relationship, whatever. There's four things you need to do. And I'll say this very quickly because I got, we have a limited amount of time. Number one, if you feel that you need to, someone is, it's a negative space and you're wondering whether or not to cut them off or to put a boundary, step number one is the Holy Spirit just giving this to me. So I'm sorry, I'm just flowing.
Yeah.
Number one, the first thing you need to do is pray.
Hmm.
Ask God as to for direction and ask God to help you make the right decisions. Is this a temporary pause or a permanent breakup?
Yeah.
Whether it's in business, whether it's someone telling you negative things, whether it's a negative relationship. Number two, the next thing that you need to do is look inside yourself and ask yourself, can the person that I'm having a problem with, can they help me get to the place in my life where I know God wants me to be?
Yep.
So that's
Oh yeah.
number two, right? Number three, ask yourself, what is my emotional state when I'm around this person or when someone talks to me? People will not just remember, not always remember what you say to them,
Right.
but they'll remember how they made you feel.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel when that person talks to you about your business or your relationship or whatever? Are they constantly negative? Do they drag you down? Do they uplift you? Do they inspire you? Or they
Exactly.
cause you to feel like do they help give you imposter syndrome? Like, what
Yeah.
is it? And number
And pay
4,
attention to
pay
it.
attention to that. Yes. And number 4 is and you're doing it now. Get yourself some coaches or some trusted family members that have known you for a while and can
Mm-hmm.
guide you through
Exactly.
this process along with prayer, right?
Yeah.
So those are the 4 things that I would suggest to the audience in conjunction with what you're saying
Mm-hmm.
in regards to if you have a business and you want to get the right people around you to be that bossed and balanced woman,
Exactly.
these are some of the things that you should do. Not bad, eh?
Right? So
Hey,
true.
thank you. We're here with Shanika Gosling. We have a few more minutes with her, but we didn't want to forget about the self-care and the book. How do you
Yes.
take care of yourself? So you take care of your business, you take care of your parents, you take care of your children. As a boss balanced photographer, entrepreneur, how do you take care of you?
Mm-hmm. I go for walks every day, to be honest. That's my therapy. So although I haven't been doing, because my daughter decided that she just wants to stay up super late now. So my morning rituals have changed, but typically I would wake up every day about 4:35, and that's my time with God. I would do my devotions, my prayer, and just quiet, like just having that quiet moment where whether it's just about just sitting in quiet or connecting with him. And then I would, do my stretches, do those things for me, and then just have tea before the
Mm.
masses woke up, you know? But those were it's something that, like, even today I didn't wake up until almost like 5:36, but I still did my stretches and just was like thankful to God. Being grateful and thankful every day is like it's everything to me. And like if I think about today, I woke up at 6, I did that. My kids woke up about 7:30. I got them ready out the door. And then I got to a meeting. Right after that meeting, I was like, okay, I know I'm going to be in front of my computer and I know I have all this other stuff to do. Let me just go for a walk. So I went for a long walk and just had meditation music playing in my ear, not words, not anything, just like that works for me
Mm.
because because I don't like to go to the gym. So walking is like my gym.
Oh,
And I can walk for half an hour or an hour. I'll just walk until, okay, gotta go home now. Right. But that's my self-care. And then obviously outside of that, like, get a massage here and there, get a facial. Sweet Spa is the one that does my facials.
shout
So,
out to Sweet Spa.
right, she's been all up in
There's
the
the plug right there.
but yeah, she'll come. And what I love about her is like she does mobile. So she comes to your house and she sets it up so I don't have to leave my house. Right. So
Mm.
those things that I do is my version of self-care, right? Reading, walking, getting that facial done, going and getting a massage, and just going for walks. Like those simple things just make a whole lot of difference. When I don't do them, I feel the difference. So like I have to do it.
And you're actually doing the things. I'm not a prophet, but I'm just going to tell you this. You're doing this is exactly the things that millionaire entrepreneurs do. I'm
Mhm,
not even talking about people in the kingdom. Even people in the kingdom do that, but I listened very carefully to what you're saying.
mhm.
Number one, you have moments of gratitude. People who are not in the kingdom do things like this.
Yes.
Number one, they wake up in the morning and they give thanks.
Yeah.
Moments of gratitude. We call it prayer. Sometimes you just sit back and before they like read anything or anything like they just go to the couch or go to their if it's beside their bed or whatever and just think and
Yeah.
just meditate and process. And the other thing is that millionaires, entrepreneurs, they're always in a book. They're
Always.
always reading,
Yep.
man, right? They're always reading. And in Kingdom, we're always reading, whether it's a devotional. I'm reading a book right now. I have it beside me. I'm going to have him on the podcast next month, the Men's Breakthrough Devotional. This is my book by Dr. Myron Evans. And I also write books as well. So I'm in a book, I'm reading, I'm learning. Then I have moments of prayer, and I always find at least 30 minutes to an hour of exercise.
Yeah.
Get that heart working, get that brain working. Some of the greatest ideas that have come to me in business came on a treadmill.
Yeah, right.
Or if I'm benching, or if I'm, doing, goblet squats or whatever at the, yes, shout out to goblet squats. And then you're able to conquer. Yes, you can also be a sponsor of the podcast if you travel to Boston. But yeah. But as I was saying, those are the things that people do now in Kingdom. It's prayer, it's meditation. It's not just putting a laundry list of God. It's also God downloading his blessings and glory in you so that you can be the best entrepreneur that you can be, because your business is your witness.
Yeah. And even just what you said, I think, and this is just a little tidbit from me, but something that I'm learning now is that as long as I'm in that thankful heart, God already knows the beginning and end. He already knows where you're supposed to be anyways. So if we just release that control, because that's what I'm still learning. It's like my girlfriend called me about something the other day, and I'm just like, what are you trying to figure out? Go and pray. And that's it. Just go and pray and give it to God. Release that control. Because at the end of the day, that's all he wants, is for us to truly, truly trust him and truly just give it to him. I'm going through so much stuff now, and I'm just like, all right, this is on you. If there's a bill, this is on you. If there's something else, this is yours. Take care of it. I ain't stressing, because if I stress, that means I'm trying to take control of it.
Yeah.
Release it.
Release it. That sometimes, the greatest peace and let me put it this way, since, this is more of an urban podcast, AKA Black. Sometimes the greatest flex is not in fighting, but it's in surrendering.
Yeah.
God, I'm waiting for you to tell me what to do.
Exactly.
Because if this is your will for my life, it is your obligation to make am I speaking to somebody today?
Oh, you are.
This is for somebody, this is for Sweet Spa Empire, all your friends, all of my friends, all my family that are watching live or will be watching later. If it's God's idea, it's his brand that's on the line.
Exactly. Exactly.
So one thing I know about God is his reputation is infinite and is greater than mine. So if God is in it, he cannot lose. Therefore, you cannot lose. So sometimes you just got to say, you know what, God?
Here you go.
Here you go.
Yep.
Now flex your muscles and show yourself strong. Yes. And when God flexes, things move.
Miraculously. It's the truth. It's the truth.
Exceedingly abundantly above you could ever ask, or I'm trying not to be churchy.
That's all right. We're good.
That's all right. Let's talk about this real quickly. Just love her. Listen, this is the Proverbs 31 Woman's Devotional. There's a whole bunch. Oh, we got on the screen. Right? I don't have to hold it. So tell us about this book. Why should women get this? How they can get this, and how people can contact and reach you.
Well, I am on Captured by Shani all across all social media platforms. And I know you'll add it at the bottom as well. But I created this book because of those, the question that you even asked, like, what is that self-care? Sometimes people have issues finding that time to spend with themselves or to spend with God. And what's beautiful about this book is that it's simple, little things to do. For example, I'm just going to show you the first one because it's my fave. But the Bible verses there, reflection questions, and prayer. It's a simple 5-minute practice. And if you really want to take it further, it can be 10 to 15 if you really dive deep in the reflection questions. But that's really why I created this, and with the beautiful imagery, because you can't go wrong looking at beautiful imagery while you are working on yourself. Because most women can look at this and say, wow, that's me. Especially for the Black woman, yes. But
Yeah.
right? You can look at the images within the book and just see the beauty and elegance, but also just see yourselves in the image and just know that this is something just to help you. Like I meet a lot of women that will say, oh, I need to, they'll hear me say I wake up at 4:30, I wake up at this time. It took me years to get to that point, but it started with another devotional that just made me start with 5 or 10 minutes of my day. And it can be any part of the day that you just spend time with yourself. And that's why I created the book, so that women can take that time to be with themselves, which is connecting to God. That's your spiritual, like, that's, this world is spiritual. So we have to know who we are, and we have to know who God is. And I just feel like the Proverbs 31 woman is the prime example of who women should be in their everyday lives.
All right. Awesome. Everybody get your copy. Her email is below, Shani at capturedbyshani.com. We can put where to purchase the book on the bottom of the screen, and we'll also add it in the chat, on the YouTube chat and the Facebook chat. I'll do that later this evening. And also connect with her on Instagram. I know you got your tribe and your village in here. I want to say thank you to the tribe and village for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channels as well, because we're both entrepreneurs and we're both growing our respective businesses. Hey, there's enough millionaires to go around.
Amen.
Hallelujah. Amen. Amen for the kingdom.
Yes.
So listen, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be with me here. I know that people were blessed, and I pray a sevenfold return on your business
To you as
and
well.
a blessing on your parents.
Thank you.
You have an amazing daughter, and your children have an amazing mother. So God bless your tribe, and you got good friends as well.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for being here.
All right.
All right. So no, we're not done yet. So
Okay.
just
Bye.
no. You're still here. So yeah. So if you enjoy, I can do this. She's family. If you enjoyed this podcast presentation, episode 134, if you would like to prayerfully consider sowing a seed into this ministry, you can do so. PayPal, many people are watching from Canada. There's the PayPal address. I don't think Cash App applies in Canada, but if you're in the United States and you like what we're doing here, please prayerfully consider. I'm not getting huge YouTube checks or Facebook checks. So this is all grassroots funding into my own vision. So if you want to be a part of this and if you want to help us out, please prayerfully consider a donation to this podcast so we can keep going. And the merch is coming. Be encouraged, be inspired, be motivated. That's our tagline right here. Hoodies, t-shirts. We'll eventually do mugs, pens, stuff like that. Thank you, Empowered by Design. Thank you, Sweet Spa. Appreciate you all for subscribing. And the merch will drop and maybe give it like 2 weeks. So I will let y'all know, and you can support by purchasing. We ship to Canada too. And I don't think there's any tariffs.
We'll see.
Hey, You don't know about, well, let me not get blocked.
No.
So, elbows up. So,
Right?
thank you so much for tuning in on a Friday night. Our next episode will be Sunday, and it'll be with my mother. Yes, we're going to have a Mother's Day conversation, and you don't want to miss that Sunday, May 11th. And then on Thursday, we're going to have my wife hosting a panel discussion on bossed and balanced women dealing with menopause. I will not be in that one for good reason. So my wife is amazing. She will be blessed with an amazing panel and a really great conversation. Until Sunday evening, God bless you. Have a wonderful Mother's Day. Have a good Mother's Day, Shanika, please.
Thank you so much.
Get a spa day or eat some.
I'm going to eat some good food.
Black cake and jerk chicken and roti and
all the good stuff.
Yeah. All right. God bless you all. Have a wonderful night. My name is Gregory Bloomfield. This is Shanika Gosling. This is the Motivation Moments Podcast. Read it together. Be encouraged, be inspired, and be motivated. God bless you all. Have a wonderful night.
Hey, listen, if you in your car, if you with your family, if you in the backyard having a cookout, I need you to turn this all the way up because it's about to go live. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me, and the show can't take it away. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me, and the show can't take it away. You see the vibes, I know you see the light and how it shines. I'm a child of God, why you look surprised? I'm super fly, I won't apologize, cause I walk in favor, I got flavor. Salt of the earth, I can't lose my savor. Jesus Christ, yeah, that's my savior. Eyes on the cross, I don't see no hate. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Yeah, yeah, I once was lost, but now I'm found. I need you to forget about your problems, grab your loved one by the hand, and take them to the dance floor.